Any questions before we get started?
Well, I mean, the show, is off script. And considering we don't have a script, I mean, I think we're already there.
We're going to run this, man. I'm not doing any intro. Let's just keep going.
Just keep going. And this is it. It's already started. We found ourselves in it. We're off the script and just we're swimming.
What little bit of script I have already off that.
We're done. We're good. Very on brand. So.
Yeah. Well, Austin, like I said, and this is such a self-deprecating joke, but for the four people listening, can you tell them who you are in a nutshell?
Well, if they're listening, they're probably my parents or your.
That's four.
So
your parents, mine.
You already know of me. So, no, that's great. I'm Austin Senseman. I grew up in Birmingham, and I've been back in town since 2007. And I don't know where to start. I mean, people kind of know me now for Birmingham AI.
Yeah.
It's probably been the highest profile thing I've been up to recently. But there's a whole story about how I got there. I'm sure we can.
Oh, we're definitely getting
get all into it.
We're not. I'm not letting you leave without talking about those two letters.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Right. Apparently, that's a thing on people's minds.
Right. Mine included.
So, I think about it a lot, and I'm happy to share.
Cool. And I guess I didn't realize that you were from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And where did you travel to after that?
I went to college in St. Louis.
Okay.
Washington University in St. Louis. And so I lived in China for about a year after college because, I didn't really come out of college with like a life plan.
Okay.
I mean, this is the off script.
It is.
I mean, people are like, I'm going to go be a doctor. I'm like, I don't really know what I want to do. And a friend of mine had moved there to teach. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'll go do that. And it was fun. You're 21, 22 years old and all that. So, and then I came back home and I've been home since.
Okay. I'm thinking Alabama, China, very similar.
Totally. Yeah. Very. Yeah. It's such a beautiful experience to be in a very foreign place, especially for an extended period of time, and then to come home. And just all these little things you take for granted, just endless things, and you just sort of, you're like back, you're fish out of water, and you're like back in it.
Okay,
it's a cool experience people should have.
I want to stay here.
Opportunity,
Yeah, I want to stay here for you for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Name me something you took for granted about Birmingham that you didn't realize till you got back after living in China.
Yeah. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. It's not just Birmingham, right? But it's like just being in the United States. I'll just tell you a little thing that people have been in China will appreciate. There's just so much bartering going on. There's just very little like, this is the price of this thing in here. I mean, that exists. But there's a lot of like, I would like this shirt. And it's like, all right, well, let's have a 5-minute conversation about buying this shirt. And, I'm going to start by trying to charge you, 10 times what it's worth. And we're going to work through that together.
Yeah.
And then you get home and you're like, oh, that's $15. Great. Here you go. Let's keep moving. And so it's frustrating to be in those kind of environments, but it's also kind of fun in a way. But it is nice to be home and just be able to pay for things. It's 1,000 little things like that are just different in different cultures.
Okay.
So that's one that immediately comes to mind.
Okay.
Where you're just like, oh, I'm not bartering with people constantly whenever I try to buy anything. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that, by the way. That's always intriguing. I have a first cousin who went to I think it's called the World College in Shanghai, I believe, or Beijing, one of the two.
Yep.
She was there. She did that before college for 2 years, and seeing her worldview since being there has been like so remarkable. So like I'm always intrigued when I hear of other people who lived in China as well. So yeah. Okay, so back to Birmingham from China. Totally. What happens?
What happens? I mean, I didn't really have a plan for my life, I never know what I
script?
wanted to do. So no script. I mean, what did I do? I worked at coffee shops. I think I tutored people in like the SAT, that kind of stuff, and I just really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. My parents are entrepreneurs, like they're like just go back generations, like a lot of entrepreneurs. My family, you go to a family reunion, there are a lot of I don't think anyone had ever told me, hey, like this is sort of the family business is being in business. So I guess I spent my 20s kind of figuring out that was the case.
Yeah.
And that involved going and like working at some more corporate jobs and feeling like this doesn't feel like the thing for me,
Yeah.
What's wrong with all these people? We joked about this earlier.
Yes, we did.
Where it's like, and those people were thinking, what's wrong with this guy? Like I'm like, oh, these people are all weird, and they're, I was the weird one there. Like we need people in those environments. That was not the right environment for me, you know. And I was probably in my early 30s before I was really like, doing the entrepreneurial thing.
Okay.
So it took me a while to get there.
What were the signs that you may not have been in the right place?
We all think the world should just be a certain way. And I think when you're younger, you're not able to see yourself, right? It's like, well, what are we supposed to be doing at work? We're supposed to be like working toward the mission. We are supposed to be like innovating and solving problems. And so you just sort of show up that way, and other people are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I was probably more like anti-authority when I was younger. That was just how it would be expressed. And so I was probably pretty annoying to the bosses I had, they were thinking, this guy's smart, but what are we going to do with this person?
Right.
I was probably driving them nuts. So anyway.
And you were in the finance sector.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sort of banks, investment companies.
Is that something you had an interest in growing up, or?
No, not really. I mean, I sort of came out of that early part of my life with my parents saying, well, you could go to business school. I mean, I had a sociology degree from college.
Okay.
Which to me was just intellectually stimulating. I just sort of followed my curiosity in school. That's why I ended up at the end of it with like, now what? Because, I was just signing up for things that sounded interesting to me.
Yeah.
And so my parents at some point, they were like, we're business people. Have you thought about learning about business? Maybe that's worth a try.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I went to Stanford, and I started their MBA program.
Okay.
And I realized I really liked the accounting work. So I ended up getting a master's of accounting. I was a CPA. There's also this chartered financial analyst, like finance work that I did. And it was all like totally new to me, very interesting. And I came out of there. I was still following my curiosity, but I followed it in a way where now I was like employable.
Yeah.
I had credentials and things like that. And that was how I was able to get those first jobs.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Man, one of the things that resonated with you hearing this when we talked beforehand was when we talked off script beforehand, your parents.
Yeah.
And your parents being entrepreneurs. And it just, I don't know, this is not a dig at your parents at all, but like since I've taken the leap myself, and I've met other entrepreneurs, like it's something they wear and it's something they promote.
Yeah.
And like growing up like that, it's curious. It makes me curious to think like your parents never even shared. I mean, I'm sure they were instilling those values in you before you knew.
They absolutely were.
Okay.
Yeah, they absolutely were.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it wasn't so explicit like, hey, we expect you to go start a business and da-da-da, right? I mean, that was not the message I got.
Right.
But the message I got was just watching them, and you don't learn in the same way when you're just it's not so explicit, but you're watching it happen around you, and you get these sort of implicit assumptions about the way the world works. For example, never heard them complain about their boss. They didn't have one. So then I've got a boss, and I'm like, what's this about? Right? And so that's just a little thing where they are teaching you that kind of set of behaviors, but in a way that's like not so obvious when it's happening. They worked a lot too.
Sure.
And I don't think they worked a lot just because they love working. They were just excited about, what they were able to do as business owners. And for them, that was the path that they were going to walk down to help create a better life for our family and for us. So you're just watching this happen and you're soaking it all up.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to turn the backlights on.
And it just seems totally normal.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
And then you get out in the world and you're like, well, a lot of people weren't in those environments or they're, you know, and so you start to see what else is going on in the world.
Okay. And I could imagine like you're in the corporate role and I don't know if you're living at home, but when you're talking to your parents and you're like, hey, my boss did this today. And they're just kind of like, I mean, did your parents take their lumps in corporate America or any type of defined role with a boss?
Yeah.
Okay. So they got it.
Yeah. I'd say my dad's entrepreneurial career also sort of launched off feeling frustrated with sort of an environment that he didn't have a lot of control over. I think entrepreneurs, they aren't control freaks, but you like to have your hands on the wheel. You know, there's something like thrilling about it. You want to be in the race car driving it. And so when you're in the passenger seat and you're like not feeling like you're living. And I think there's something about that.
Do you think everyone has that?
Yeah, I think that's in everybody. I mean, in the same way that like everybody has it in them to create wonderful, beautiful art, but we don't all find our way there. For some people, it's just like more readily there on the surface. But yeah, I think everybody's capable of creating things or wanting to sort of have that agency and go and do something that's theirs.
Yeah.
I hope more people get that opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. You're taking me back because out of college, I was working IT. Not many people believe that, but even then, like I felt out of place.
Yeah.
I was good. I was willing to learn. I did have an interest in tech to some degree, not as much as some of my counterparts at the time, but there was this whole personality crisis. Like it was hard to shove me in a cube and just throw work over the top of the cube at me because I need to be with people. I need to connect. I need to socialize. I'm a gregarious guy. And I just remember going to work and it being like, all right, I'm going to my prison cell. You know what I mean? I didn't come to grips with that at the time because that's what I was taught. Go to school, get a job, retire. And don't leave that job ever. How dare you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that urge that I had, that thankfully, you know, I didn't realize that as a blessing at the time, but I got laid off from that company and I'd been there for like almost 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Keynote here, or side note here, I worked there in high school as an intern.
Yeah.
So they honored those years of service, even though there was probably like 2 months.
You weren't the most productive person there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I say that with an asterisk, but like I just knew in my mind I was going to retire there, and I just remember getting that email saying report to this room, and it turns out like if you're in this room, you're gone. If you're in that room, you're good. You know?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean corporate, you know how that is, but it turned out to be a blessing because at that point, even though I was scared out of my mind, it was like, hold on now, well, I can figure out what I really want to do, and can I mix?
Yeah.
Can I mix
a lot of people don't ever get that opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it again, like at the time, I was like, gosh, my life is over. I don't know what else to do. But like finally going through that, it was like, no, this is an opportunity, you know. So you're taking me back to that.
Yeah.
So great thoughts and thankful for it. Okay, so Austin, we've got a high value job in the finance sector. You realize, hey, you know, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. Those people are weird. They think I'm weird. Take me to what happens after that.
Yeah. By the way, if any of those people are the 4 people that are listening to this, no, I mean, I've come to really have a lot of respect for like all different roles people play in the world. And it's kind of like when you hire someone in your company, there's this question of like, can they perform, but also are they a good fit for the culture? Yes. And they're just different kinds of cultures. And some are better, you could say better or worse, but like it is about finding a place that fits for you. And that just wasn't a place that I fit.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't think badly on any of those folks or those situations. You know, they helped me like sharpen to your point, they helped me, that like discomfort of me being there was what helped sharpen my sense of what I should be doing, you know?
Yeah.
So what happened after that? Is
Yes.
that kind of where we're going? Yeah. Well, this can take like kind of a nerdy kind of little detour here.
Okay.
Because
there's no script, so you do.
Yeah,
what you need to
right.
do.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. It's perfect. Perfect. So I'm like a finance professional, you know, but I show up at work, and I'd say in the first month I was in these jobs, it was like, here's a database we have. Like, basically it became a database, data analytics, reporting type job. That's the job I walked into, which is great. And I really enjoyed that kind of work. And so as much as I was a finance and accounting person, I was really like a data professional starting in like 2010.
Okay.
Right? And so as new technology came out, I was just on the edge of using the newest stuff. And there was something called Power BI, which is a Microsoft product, which I guess everybody probably knows what that is now.
Yeah,
maybe.
I do. Yeah.
But
being tech
at
adjacent.
the time,
yeah.
this was like a new thing.
Right.
Tableau had come out years
I was gonna
earlier.
ask about Tableau and SQL and all that.
And
Yeah.
this is how Microsoft does it. They wait until there's like a big product that gets traction, and they try to use their distribution to squash it. Right? So Tableau came out. It's this big deal. They tried to build Power BI, and I think they did a pretty good job. Slack came out. They built Teams.
Right.
That's how they do this stuff, right?
Yes.
It's good. It's a good strategy. So Power BI was that thing. And so I was like, man, every company in the world would benefit from this, using this tool.
Yeah.
Like, you could walk down the street, you could go into a business and be like, hey, how are y'all doing with your data analytics? And everyone would say the same thing, like, it's a mess. Everyone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you run a business now, and it's not even like a knock on anybody. It's just like one of those things that's kind of hard to do with.
My data analytics are a mess.
Yeah, are you measuring it and all this stuff? Yeah, no. So I thought, okay, that's an opportunity. So I say 2015 was probably the last time I got a regular paycheck.
Wow.
So, you know, I basically went out and said, I'm going to go see if I can help companies use Power BI.
Just like that.
That's what I decided to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the F word here, not the one you're thinking of.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Freedom.
Well, fear was the one I was thinking of.
Those things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want one, you got to explore the other.
Yes.
Don't you?
I love the way you put that.
Yeah.
Seriously. But like, talk to me. Like, were you fearful? Because hearing you now, you sound pretty confident in the pivot.
Was I afraid? No. I think, no, I wasn't. I'm not saying zero. I mean, there's some level here. I think I talk to a lot of people who want to make that leap, and people are really scared of all the things that might happen, you know, and it's like some real catastrophe is going to happen. And for me, it was like, listen, the worst thing that can happen here is I got to go get a job. You know?
Yeah.
And I know I don't mean to like make light of not having a job, but I mean, I felt like I had a set of skills where if I needed to go get a job, I'd go get a job again.
Right.
You know? And that's just sort of how I approached it. And when I coach people on that, I ask them to sort of talk through what bad things do you think? What's like the worst way this turns out? And it's like, oh, well, I get divorced, I lose my house. You sort of go down the list, and it's like, certainly people can get sideways and trying to start a business and it not working. But when I talk to people, especially about doing Power BI as a consulting career or something, I'm like, here's what's going to happen. In 6 months, you're going to have too much work, you know? And that's what happens to people, you know? I mean, you know, you've taken a leap yourself.
Yes.
You're around other people who've taken a leap. You've encouraged people in that way. You've discouraged people in that way. You've done right.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's going to work out.
Can I still learn Power BI? Because I'm thinking about making a pivot right now.
I think you're probably good where you are.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're already so masterful at this craft.
Thank you. Okay.
Plus, I mean, you can get AI to do it for you now, it turns out. So
that's true.
Actually, now may be the time for you.
No, but in all seriousness, I'm thinking back to I'm going to try to say this. I got to say it slow.
Yeah.
Inquiry council that you were in with me when I was featured.
Yeah.
And you said some of the same things. And Austin, I didn't tell you this, but that night when I walked away, I remember thinking that dude has lost his mind.
No. Yes.
But you were challenging me to think like, okay, Ronnie, what's the worst that can happen? I was considering hiring someone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this.
I remember that.
I was considering hiring someone, and I had 100 reasons why it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And you challenged me to start thinking of one reason why it would.
Yeah.
Fast forward to, I think, November. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I took your advice, and it is working.
Listen, when people say they take my advice, I push back a little bit. I mean, you already had that in you. Like when I work with a lot of people who they think I'm giving them advice, and I'm just saying back to them what they are saying to me, but they can't hear it themselves. I feel that's true a lot. I don't like giving advice to people, but if I hear you saying something and I can tell you can't even hear what you're saying, I'm going to say it back to you. And you're going to say, oh, that's a great idea. And I'm going to say, that was your idea. You know?
Yeah.
It happens all the time. You already had that in you.
You believe that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. You coach?
Yeah, well, I guess I do.
I'm signing up right now.
I don't like giving advice,
Sure.
right, in that way, because it's like, I think people just over-index too much on their own experiences.
Guilty.
You know? I find myself doing it all the time, and you're talking to someone, and you're basically telling them about your life, not theirs. Right. I think there's a place for that, but it's a fine line, you know?
Okay.
Because people need to find their own way. Part of this is like me. I was like uncoachable, you know, when I was young.
Really?
Yeah, man, I knew everything. Whatever. I didn't need anybody to tell me anything.
Okay.
Maybe that's just being young. No,
yeah,
maybe we were all.
I think, yeah. I got a 12-year-old who is deeply rooted in that right now.
Yeah, okay.
Like, parents are dumb. Like, what are you even here for?
Yeah, I got something coming with my kids.
Okay.
You know, I know how it was.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So Austin, you step out, you
Yeah.
start your own thing, doing
Right.
Power BI work.
Right.
How did that go? Well, no. Scrap that.
Yeah.
Tell me your first failure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many little micro failures in it, you know. I mean, I think you've experienced part of being an entrepreneur is it's like a perpetual sales job. You know, so there's just sort of the endless round of trying to, you have a conviction about something, but you have to convince other people. Most people don't care. You know? I don't mean that in a knock on them. They just got their own lives, or they got other things going on.
It's
They
so
don't care about what
true,
you're doing. And so you got to like work through that. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know, I do.
And like just not take it personally.
Right.
And when people are like, I don't like to sell, in a way, what they're saying is like, I have a hard time like approaching that emotion of someone sort of rejecting something that I feel is important, you know?
Yeah.
And so of course there's a lot of that.
Can I interject?
Yeah, of
The
course.
reason I'm chuckling
Yeah.
is just this Wednesday, I visited a BNI group.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love to do is public speaking. And like, honestly, I don't have enough opportunities to do it by my own fault because I don't talk about it.
Sure.
But anyway, are you familiar with BNI
Say
at all?
more. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, there's a part where you get up and pitch. You get a
Okay.
minute, 30 seconds, which to me is like 5 seconds.
3 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I get up there and
You've got done introducing yourself and they're calling time.
Give it up for Ronnie, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. What does he do? Don't know.
Yeah.
But I get my pitch. I hit my high points. I don't practice anything just because I get such a rush out of it. And so I look around and there's like 3 women there and they're just. So when you said like no one really cares, you made me think of that of like, man, you could not have been more correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know how you've you feel about this. I don't try to convince people. I mean, sometimes you find yourself falling into that. I'm saying I never do that, but it's like I try not to convince people.
Right.
It's like if people show up to this point earlier, they sort of already have it in them that they're interested in that thing. You're going to connect with them.
Right.
And if they don't, they don't. And that's okay.
This is like your Birmingham AI stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's true in any kind of, sales is probably the wrong kind of word. It's just anytime you're trying to have someone hear what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. And you change people's minds in other ways.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. So, yeah, no, those are probably the most common failures. It's just trying to, get someone to say yes to whatever you're selling.
And you don't give off typical sales guy vibes.
Yeah.
That's not a knock. It's just you seem more like a down to earth, connective person, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I like to approach those situations where no one's getting pushed. Like, if you agree to something that you don't really want, like, where are we going to end up? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I didn't solve a problem for you. And so, yeah, a lot of it's just listening to folks or trying to make a space where people can sort of, I mean, I think the sales, it's not a trick, and I don't mean it that way, but like, it's like to get people to actually share with you how they really feel or like what's really going on. Because then and then you can say, I'm a great fit for you. You can say, I'm not a great fit for you. But now we're sort of like, and there's all sorts of ways that people don't want to do that. Well, I don't want to tell this person no, or I don't want to tell this person yes, or I don't want to. And so can you create a space where people are kind of having a transparent, honest conversation? I don't know. For me, everyone has different sales styles.
Sure, sure.
And they're all valid in a way.
Yeah.
But like, that's sort of how I approach it. It's like, let's have that kind of conversation.
Austin, that's how I connected with you.
You think so?
I know so.
Yeah.
Just like from our first interactions in Overton, I'm like, man, there's something about this dude. I don't know what it. I mean, your sense of humor, number one.
Yeah, A+.
Oh my gosh.
I just appreciate that you think my jokes are funny.
Incredibly funny. I feel good because I got to hear some of your best material. We both just
like to laugh,
maybe that's what it is.
It just makes it easy.
The sense of humor is just like, anyway, I think that was the start, but what was under that was a genuine desire to connect.
Yeah.
And you give that off. I don't know how to say that. I don't know the best way to say it, but you do. So
you just feel present with some people.
Yeah. And you made me realize that with your description there. So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we started out our Power BI business.
Yeah.
We failed, micro failures a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to fast forward just a little bit.
Of course, yeah.
How do we get to this whole AI thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'll just like breeze through like the in-between years. I mean, I got connected with a guy who lived in Indianapolis who had developed a big online following for Power BI. And he, had a reasonably sized company, but it was just kind of him. And I encouraged him to like start a company, hire people. And we did that. That's P3 Adaptive. That company's got like 75 employees now. And they're doing great. And I'm like not involved in that day to day. I'm like a minor shareholder over here, but like sort of help. Like he had already done the hard work of building that brand. But I like helped him sort of start pushing that rock up the hill. So that's cool. I got married, and when I was doing that P3 Adaptive job, I think I was on an airplane like 20 or 25 weeks. Whoa. Like one of those years. And my now wife is like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, good call. Something, gotta do something else. That like wasn't kind of how we wanted to be together. And so I did a startup, and that was Conserve. And we work with museums. They have physical stuff, books, paintings, furniture, all these things, right?
Same Conserve that Dave?
Yeah. Dave now runs Conserve. So you didn't know this? So we're like putting these pieces
Forgive
together.
me. This is my first
so
day.
This is so good. Yeah, so good. So I started that company with Nathan McMahon. We started that in 2018 and hired Dave in 2021, I think. I'm going to get that wrong, but somewhere in there,
Okay.
And I was ready to hand that business. I mean, that business is doing great. I was ready to hand that business off, and Dave was sort of the natural person to step into that role. He's done a great job.
Yes.
So Dave got promoted to run Conserve in 2023, into 2023, which is cool. So I'm on the board now there, and I'm not, Dave runs the company.
Yeah.
And I'm just there when he needs me, and that's cool. And so how did we get to AI? I mean, ChatGPT came out at the end of 2022.
Unofficially?
Officially.
Okay.
I think it was
Okay.
November 2022.
Gotcha.
So
I was very late to the game on that. So
3+ years ago.
okay.
And I, probably downloaded it like 100 million other people or whatever. And I just felt like I was talking to some alien intelligence. I felt like we had given
Alien?
I felt like we had given birth to some, not that it was even that smart at the time, but I'm like, oh, this is the beginning of some other kind of intelligence that's not human. I really felt that way even at the beginning. I was like, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be quite a ride. And so Will Blackburn, who runs that group with me, I mean, we had lunch. He was coming off an exit at his company. I love being around people when they are in that moment. So we had lunch, and we just realized we were both really interested in this. And that summer, 2023, we had our first event at Innovation Depot, just like Eventbrite, like no agenda, like just show up. I think 70 people came.
70?
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And we didn't know if that was a lot or a little or whatever.
To me, that's a lot.
I mean, it was a lot. It turns out that's a lot.
Yeah.
You're struggling to get like 12 people at a technically oriented meetup. So yeah, that turned
Just
out
to
to be a
give you
lot.
comparison, I got 4 subscribers.
Yeah.
So like you got 70 people.
Well, after this, I'll go sign up and I'll try to get you to 5, Ronnie.
Yes.
That's great. And that's certainly you have more than 4 subscribers. You're messing with me, please. 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 Too humble. So that's how that got started. I mean, again, it just sort of, I have over-indexed in my life on following my curiosity. And sometimes that gets you in trouble because you end up in places like where you're out of college, where you're like, I don't know what to do, right? Where I'm not like optimizing for getting a job. You end up in all these places that aren't optimized for your finances or your relationships sometimes or other things, right? But that's just how I've lived. And so this is one of those moments where, my curiosity kind of led me to that. And we just kept doing it. And it's such a intellectually stimulating, interesting thing that like you can just sort of be curious about it for a long, long time. And it's been fun to do.
And dude, the ambassador that you've been, and like to date, I've been to 2 of the meetups.
Yeah, thank you.
But I had access to you in Overton, so I kind of had the cheat
got a little
code.
vibe, yeah.
But the confidence you gave me to jump into AI, because I was like, I don't know about it, and you humanized it for me.
Yeah, thank you.
And now I'm just like, and I follow your stuff on LinkedIn very closely, and it's humbling because like I'm thinking I'm advanced, and then when I see you drop something like you did something with Claude and the code behind it, and I was like, yeah, I'm still in remedial.
I'm not trying to make you feel that way.
Okay, I know that it's not intentional, but it feels like you said.
Well,
it feels
like
my
that
desire.
for everybody. And I bristle a little bit when people are like, I'm an AI expert. I'm like, I am struggling with this in the way everybody is. I'm just talking about it and sharing with it in public. I mean, the reason I come across as an expert is just I have been doing that every day for 3 years now. And I've just been in there struggling with it and trying to figure it out. And then Birmingham AI is just this bigger expression of that, where it's like, we're going to have to figure that out as a community. A lot of great things that are going to happen, a lot of tough things that are going to happen. And they're not just personal issues. It can be like social issues. And can we create a space where people can come together and work through that? And I think I think that's come across. I think people have walked into that room with their own curiosity, and then we have fed that. I think that's how it's grown.
And doing it at a high level, if I might add.
Yeah, thanks.
So at this point, you and Will are partnering the whole Birmingham AI movement. Mm-hmm. Is this like your sole thing, or are you still doing your Power BI stuff?
Man, I am working 2 jobs right now.
Okay.
I think of Birmingham AI as like community service. You know, I mean, that's really my community service, and it's like self-serving in the sense that like feeds my curiosity. Like I love doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a nonprofit. Our mission is to accelerate adoption of AI in Birmingham for everybody. And, you know, I am currently spending a lot of time helping run that organization. And we tried to hire somebody at the end of last year. It didn't really work out. That happens sometimes.
Right.
We're going to try again. But no, my full-time job, I like have a job, you know. I have Caravan AI, which is a AI training company that I just officially launched with my friend Robert Hill. We launched that in December.
Really?
So we have this
like December 2025?
Yeah, because like for in between Conserve, I had sort of had this in between time. I mean, I was doing some consulting work. I wasn't retired. I mean, I had to like pay my bills, but I didn't really know what I was doing next. You're sort of in, you're in one of those. So when you found me in Overton, I was very much in that like, yeah, Birmingham AI is going well. Like, I'm excited about that, but I need to find my next thing.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to do that by the end of 2025. And so when like October, November rolled around, I was starting to get nervous because I'm like, it's that time. I need to figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And so that ended up being Caravan, and we were doing AI training.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Listen, Robert and I went and spoke to almost 30 business owners. So we just said, we'll buy you lunch, we'll come by your office, and we just want to talk to you about how you're thinking about AI. And we did October, November, December. We did a lot of that. We have some conviction that there's like a big need here. People are trying to figure this out, like, but what do they need? And so we just listened to people, and we thought people would have a sense of like some big project they wanted to do, and people just aren't quite there yet. And so we kind of walked it back to like, well, what can we do? What can we do today? You can send a couple people, and we will take everything that's in our heads from the last 3 years of working on stuff, and we put it in their heads, and we'll send them back to your office, and they can imagine trying to get what I know and bring it in the walls of your organization.
Oh, gosh.
Great. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And if you want us to come in and do that for, 10 people or everyone in your company, we'll do that too. All right. Not consulting work exactly, right? But let's empower the people you already have to like pick these tools up and learn how to use them. So that's where we're going to start.
Okay. Wow.
And it doesn't feel like work. It's really fun. When you're like teaching, Birmingham AI is an expression of me as a teacher. I've never been a teacher in a like school classroom.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of something I like to do. Okay. And so training, getting up on stage and teaching people.
You've always been into that?
Turns out that's something I really like to do.
Okay.
And I'm good at it.
Did you know? Yes, you.
I didn't really know I was good at it, I will say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not even a silent or
a
quiet desire.
I knew I was a pretty good Power BI trainer.
Okay.
But Birmingham AI was a total shift for me because I would have people come up to me and say like, "Oh, you're really good at this." Okay.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that. I just did it. And
how did you
so
deal
you've
with
seen me? You've been to one of those.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a natural.
Yeah, it does seem that way, right? I didn't know that.
Dude, can I say this?
It's a really strange experience when you have this skill and anyway.
Can I say this?
Yeah, please.
You got like major Apple keynote energy.
Oh.
That's what I felt.
Thank you.
On the first one. Like, I was like, no, Austin's nailed, like, for real.
Yeah.
And it's what made me want to come back to another one. So anyway, I'm curious.
I appreciate hearing that. I mean, all of that was new information to me.
Are you serious?
Because you can't see yourself again. You don't know. We're self-aware to an extent, but
Yeah.
I'm not in the audience watching. I'm up there talking, and I don't know. And it's been an interesting transition because we have to scale out this organization. So I'm not going to be on stage every time.
Well, I'm out.
Right? We have 12 new, right, I know. We have 12 breakout groups in February. So we've gone from 1 meeting a month. We have 12 meetings a month, right? Because now it's like we have a meeting for finance, marketing, sales, legal, cybersecurity. And so it's been interesting to take it to that next level of like, how can I empower other people to create a quality performance like that, which is a totally different skill.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Huh.
So
How did you deal with that? Just hearing people say, no, you're really good at this.
I think it's actually a skill to be able to take a compliment. I mean, what are you saying when you don't take a compliment? You're saying, I actually don't think I'm very good. I'm not enough. Right? You don't let it in. Because you think if I take it, that's like prideful, or right? But what you're really saying is, I disagree with you. I'm not very good. And so you got to learn to take it. I guess I just learned to take it.
Were you resistant at first when you heard that?
I don't know if this is true for lots of people. I think a lot of people are resistant to compliments.
Me?
Yeah.
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 Even when you walked in and talked about the setup, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I'm learning to.
I think learning to take
that.
a compliment is, I think it opens up a lot to be able to step into this and say, yeah, I'm great at this. I'm great at this. And it's been like part of this journey. I mean, you saw this when we were in Overton. It's like a personal journey, but it's also this Birmingham journey. And I think Birmingham, it's like an issue here too. And I'll like relate this back to Birmingham AI and sort of how I see this. And I see this with other like big tech events we have. We find a lot of people from outside of the city who are from these big name places. And we bring them in here and they speak. And that's cool, right? But I'm like, man, there are a lot of interesting people here who are really good speakers. You know? It's like, people want to hear from, it's like they don't. And one thing that's cool about Birmingham AI is like, it's just people from Birmingham who are up there, stand and deliver, you know? And I'm not saying we don't need to find ways to like bring these partners in. It's great for Birmingham if we can do that. But we don't need them, right? We have something to say ourselves, you know? And just to have that confidence about that, I think is important. We have to be able to sort of take that compliment ourselves too as a city. Like, we're enough. We are. I don't know if people feel that way all the time, but I hope every person that we interact with from up on stage, I hope people start to feel that way. People would come to events and they would tell me, this doesn't feel like a Birmingham event. And it's like this, it's like a compliment, but it's also the sort of backhanded compliment where you're like, yeah, Birmingham, right? And so, we'll just try to raise the standard. And that way people come to an event and they'll say, this is what Birmingham events are like. And that would be cool. And so maybe we can help in our own way there too. The best thing about that is, I've never really been involved in nonprofits. I've certainly never run one. I have a hard time asking people for help with things. I would say just generally, but then also I'm used to asking for help in like a business setting, meaning like I'm going to ask you for help and I'm going to pay you. Right?
Yeah.
We're going to have a commercial relationship, and that's just, it's clean, you sort of understand. This is like, where I'm going is like the big thing here is we've asked our volunteers to really step up and help. We have these 12 breakout meetings that are going to start running in February. Putting on an event like this is a lot, and I sort of got over not wanting to ask people, and we asked a bunch of people for help, and they were like, yeah, Of course, we want to help you. It's like, oh, okay, good, thank you.
Okay. And Austin, on the outside looking in, it just seems like such an easy ask when I think about the momentum that Birmingham AI has developed. Mm-hmm. What am I missing there?
What do you mean?
Like, why? What would make you hesitate to ask?
Listen,
it's a big
I'm
deal.
busy. You just think other people are busy.
Oh, that part. Yeah, okay, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I get that.
Yeah. But then I think the turning point for me is like, well, I'm putting a lot into that. I'm asking myself to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
For the mission, or because I'm curious, or because I care. And it turns out a lot of other people feel that way too.
Okay.
And then I'm just like, we're all adults. And so if I'm asking too much, you just tell me.
Yeah.
But that's been the big unlock. I mean, there's no way that event would be happening without a bunch of people stepping up and helping.
That's cool, man.
It's real cool. Which means you just ask what's next. It's like, okay, we can dream a little bigger now, knowing that we can activate this community to like help lead it, help run it, help do. If it's just me, or even if we hire somebody and it's just them, what can you really do by yourself, you know?
Right.
But if we can create that kind of community, we can do a lot.
Yes. Dang, that's cool, man.
It's cool, man. So I didn't like plan to end up here.
Yeah.
The script was not end up here. The script was, oh, this is interesting. Let's go look over here. What's on the other side of that mountain? I don't know. Let's go look over there. Oh, that's interesting. You know,
But it all goes back to your curiosity.
living a life like that. Yeah. And you end up in interesting places. So
see, if you can bottle that up, I probably wouldn't drink a lot, but I would take a dose because I need
every once in a while.
Yes, I need more of that.
Yeah.
My wife has that.
Yeah. Say more. Like what?
Yeah.
When you say she has that, what do you see in her?
What, in her?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like, oh well, there's something over there. Let's go see what that is.
Yeah.
And where we balance each other out, it's like, do you see what that is? She's like, yeah, it's just a fiery pit. Like, I mean, it can't be that hot.
So good.
Like, do you know what a hot fire is? You know what I mean? But now where I am in life and where I am, especially in my entrepreneurship journey, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a fiery pit. Let's go see what's over there.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm learning is like, it's never as bad as I make it up to be in my head. I think that's why I'm so encouraged to hear where your consistent curiosity has led you.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, think about this, Austin. I'm just giving you a snapshot of who I am. 21, hey, Ronnie, we're going to China? There ain't no way. There ain't no way. And here's the laundry list of reasons why.
Yeah.
But you's like, oh, sure.
Let's do
I got
that.
nothing else going on. I love that now at my age of life. I do. And my entrepreneurship journey is a reflection of that because there's a lot of things that don't make any sense with what's happening right now. But it's just like, okay, well, I'm going to figure it out. And if I don't, I'll learn something.
Yeah. 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 And there's so many, they're like little things people can do if this is like a new thing or you're exploring. It's like everybody, drives from here to there at some point, and you do it, you take the same exact road every single time. You ever been down that road on the way over there? You ever driven down that road? You've been driving that road for 15 years. You ever been down there? Why don't you just take a left today and go see what's down that street? I know it sounds simple, but it's like, it just to start to break the routines a little bit because you're not optimizing for getting there as fast as you can. And to just start with little things and then let that, I mean, I'm telling you this because it's sort of my personal journey the last few years. I mean, at the end of Conserve, I was really tired. I was really burnt out. People talk about tech startups as like chewing on glass, Like, why would people do that? I don't know. But like some people are wired up. They find that fun. So after 5 years, I was like, tired. Not physically tired, just like, burnt out. And so I would go on walks, I lived in Birmingham a long time. And I would like go to like a neighborhood that I had just never been to and just walk around. I'm sure people were, again, weird. It's like, who is that person just walking around the neighborhood?
With a piece of glass in your mouth.
Yeah, it's like, It's almost like criminal to like walk around
Right.
in America. You're
It's just wild to think
out
about.
of a car. Like, why are
Right.
they not? But I would do that, and it was just like this interesting way to kind of do something totally different. And then I would try to find other areas of my life where I could break the routine a little bit and just be curious about something. And that was a lot of how I like healed in that time.
Yeah.
You know, we all have these patterns, and they can like hurt us.
Yes.
And how do you break them in a productive way? You know?
To that point, I think one of the biggest things for me is seeing the reflection of who I am as a man in my kids. And I'm getting to a point now. I'm not getting to a point. I've been preaching this for at least 2 or 3 years, where I'm trying to instill in my kids, like, do not let fear be an option. And like, if I say that, I gotta show them that. But the beauty of it is, I know with my oldest, my 12-year-old, I got 2 boys at the time of this recording, 12 and 8. My 12-year-old, the first kid gets it the worst because the parents don't know what they're doing.
I did.
You did know what you were doing?
My mom and dad.
Okay.
No, I'm saying they didn't know.
Right.
Yeah. Are you have siblings?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I got 2 sisters.
And you're old or young?
I'm the middle.
Okay. Who knows? Go either way. Yeah.
I'm the middle, and I'm the only boy. So
Yeah, right.
Go figure
Yeah.
for real. But no, I could see in my 12-year-old just how fear can impede him on doing things, and I'm realizing, like, I built that in him through where I was at the time, from his birth to now.
Yep.
And it's like now, because these past 3, maybe 4 years, I've just been transformed by just life things, by like just personal accomplishments. And now I'm starting to realize how I may have jeopardized him. But the story's not written yet. And I tell him that all the time. Like, no, we're gonna go through this together, because I'm starting to deal with how to live with less fear and live with more curiosity.
Yeah.
You should do the same. And it's built a great relationship.
And just watch.
Yeah. But like, I'm sitting with him. We went to Chick-fil-A. This was, I think it was Overton season, as I call it.
Yeah.
And I just remember sitting there telling him, like, dude, I'm so scared. And he's looking at me like, dude, I'm scared, and this is why. And it was a moment, though. So I'm thankful for it. You know what I mean? I'm thankful that A, I mean, sounds kind of morbid, but I'm here to, I guess, not reinvigorate, to reshape his viewpoints on life, in hopes that he can be inspired by some of the stuff that I've gone through. You know what I mean? Now, my youngest son, don't have to worry about fear with him. He does not care. But you make me think of that when you said that.
Yeah, there's courage in their stupidity, though. I watch my 3-year-old son, too, and you're not sure which one it is, though, right? You're like, he's brave, and you're like, yeah, he is, but he's also a little reckless.
Right.
Anyway, but
It sounds like my 8-year-old.
But like for your kids to be able to see you transform, I think there's this sense that adults are real static. Like you're already grown up, and you're just like this. And maybe a lot of people, maybe it's the midlife crisis or something when that starts to break. But for your kids to like watch you be able to grow, and to not just watch, but you to be able to engage them and talk to them about that is it's pretty cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Austin, listen, I'm going to let you get out of here. But before I do, two more questions.
This is going to be a 3-hour. I thought we were doing 3 hours.
Okay, you want to? Okay. Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. I'll cancel the rest of my day.
Well, I know where your office is now, so I can just come back.
Man,
anytime.
please.
Okay.
And we may or may not turn the mics off.
Yeah,
Whatever we do in
fine.
here will be off script.
Okay, cool. we're so far off.
No, I got to ask you, man.
Yeah, man.
If you could think of one event or series in your life to where you had to go off script to get wherever, and it could be something you shared already, but if you could share that, trying to ask that every episode, like a formal podcaster does.
Yeah, right. That's right. So you can do like the year in review, and we can crank through them. Yeah, I remember having this conversation with you, like intro to being here today. And this is one of those questions that like doesn't make sense for me. You know, I, part of my early career that I talked about was this weird recognition that there was a script and people were supposed to be following it, and me being like, oh, whoops, I didn't get that message, you know? I just wasn't like that. I was like kind of, and like it comes out, you know, you're watching this, like sometimes it comes out as goofiness. Sometimes it comes out in other ways, but it, you know, I have just been living my life like that. And I think that's what curiosity is. Like I'm driving to work. That's the script. I take this road. I take it right here. I take a left here. And then being like, what would happen if I took a left here? You know? And I don't know. I'm just wired up that way. And so this whole question is strange to me. Going off script, it's like, for me, it would be like, tell me about a time you went on script, you know? And I'd be like, oh yeah, that was tough. You know, so
I'll take that.
That's how I'm wired up.
Okay.
For better or worse.
Which, and again, I shared this before, but it made you the perfect candidate for a great guest on this.
Yeah, thanks.
Seriously.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Austin, I know the city's buzzing about you and what you're building, but I'm not going to take for granted that everyone, that all 4 people listening to this know who you are. So if you could take a minute, plug yourself. If you want people to know how to find out more information. Yeah. This is that part of the formal. Look at me, I'm going on script on my own podcast.
I know, I like it though. We need a little bit of it.
Okay, yeah,
just for some
podcast decorum,
contrast. You know? Yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, Birmingham AI has been a hit, and I think Will and I probably get too much credit for that. The community has just been showing up for that. And we didn't market it. People would come, they'd go tell a friend, they'd go tell a friend, and it's grown like that. So I think the community gets a lot of credit for following their own curiosity to like come into that room and keep coming back. And then recently all the volunteers that have, you know, so that's been really cool to watch. So Birmingham AI is a hit. You know, what's next? We're just going to keep growing it. More people need to be aware of what's happening. People don't need to be surprised when whatever happens with AI, whenever that starts happening, people don't need to be like, oh, no one told me this was happening.
Yeah.
So that's Birmingham AI. We have a bunch of meetings every month down at Innovation Depot. We want people to be there and, you know, be a part of that. It's cool. And then, you know, what do you do as an individual or a business in this moment too? Like, it's good to know what's in this AI toolbox and know what these tools are and be able to go and use them in your role or in your company. And that's Caravan. That's the training we do. It's like, familiarize yourself with this toolbox and put it to work. You know, it's not just ChatGPT anymore. Like, it's not just these chat experiences anymore. 2026 is going to be a really different year. People are going to be able to start building agents and be able to do things that start to feel more like having somebody go and do work for you. And that's going to really blow people's minds. It's going to be really a heady experience.
Yeah.
I was in a training 2 or 3 weeks ago. I guess it was before the break. I kind of lose track of time over the holidays. But one of the guys we were training he had his head in his hands. Right, he's sitting there like this. It's like the afternoon. And we were like, dude, you okay? He's like, not really. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, this is great. I'm like, happy about what we're doing here, but it's like, this is a lot to process. Right? Because when you see sort of what this newest range of tools is like, you're thinking, man, the future of work is going to be really different. And it can be hard to get your head around. And Robert and I were walking to that training, and Robert said, you know, we're teaching people how to use this AI toolbox. So this is also kind of like this weird therapy session where we're holding this space for people to emotionally process what this is going to be like for them, their company, their whatever. And I thought that was right. That's sort of what Birmingham AI is too in its own way. Is like, let's all like have some group therapy about AI. And we're going to teach you the toolbox too. So Birmingham AI is like the public expression of that, but there's a private one for people and companies, which is Caravan. And those are the 2 things I'm doing this year.
Okay.
And I would invite people to be a part of it.
This is, This is off script. How cliche is that? But you made me think of something with this. Okay, yeah, I've got like 8 minutes, but I gotta ask this. What's one thing you would say to someone who is anti-AI for whatever reason?
Yeah, I love it. I welcome those perspectives. I get overly concerned that people think Birmingham AI is an AI hype organization, you know, and I don't want people to think about it that way. AI is going to impact people's jobs. And if you happen to be someone who's in a position where you've lost your job because of AI, are you going to look at us and say, yeah, you did this? Or are you going to look at Birmingham AI as a place where you can come and find a supportive group of people to try to figure out what to do next? And we want to be the latter. And so, listen, if you are against AI, like, this is a place for you too. I know that sounds weird, you know, like anti-AI, I'm going to this AI meeting. You know, I guess it's like an alcoholic who goes to a meeting about not drinking, you know. But
That's a great example,
yeah, I don't know.
by the way.
I don't know if that's relevant. But yeah, I mean, and we say this a lot up there, like we want to try to create a space where the people in the audience can make up their own minds. And we want to try to present it in a way where people, you know, where we present kind of the full range of things so that you can make up your own mind and walk out of there. But we want people to have an opinion.
Yeah.
I'm less worried about the people who are like pro or anti. I'm more worried about the people that are like, yeah, I just haven't really thought about this a lot. That's not going to work. This is not like a wait and see, or I don't need to engage with this kind of topic.
Yeah.
You can end up on either way. I'm cool with that, but you need to engage with it.
Okay.
Or don't. but this is the thing that I think it's not the thing. You know, there's lots of interesting things going on in the world, but this is a big one for the next 5 or 10 years.
I could not agree more. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for asking. That's a great question.
Thank you. Hey.
Yeah.
I received that. Man, Austin, thank you for your time, man. This interview was incredible. I knew it was going to be, but it's just like you took it up a notch, man. I'm serious.
No, it's great.
I appreciate the time.
With you, Ronnie.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna challenge you with that too. I'm gonna make you live up to that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm coming over for dinner tonight.
Okay. Great. That's great.
Beef stroganoff tonight.
Yeah. You know what we have. My kids are 6 and 3. You know what we're having? Like mac and cheese.
Man.
My son likes bologna.
Okay. A lot of chicken fingers, I presume.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
Staple.